you guys may not realize this, but when someone at work asks you, how are you? They're not really asking you how you're doing. This is a very cultural thing in English, so it can be really confusing to know what to say in response, right? But today I am going to show you exactly what to say when a colleague at work asks you, how are you? So that you can be sure you're making a positive professional impression every single time. All right, let's dive in. Let's start with more formal situations and how to respond when maybe a senior leader or a colleague that you don't know very well asks you how you're doing. Now at work, when somebody asks you, how are you? That's really just more of a quick greeting. It's not an open invitation to share about how you're really doing or how you're really feeling in that moment. When there's no time to talk, so maybe you pass somebody who's more senior than you in the hallway. Let's say you're both walking down the hallway, you pass each other, and the other person says to you, how are you? It's okay to just respond very quickly, keep it short. Just say, good, thanks, how are you? That's it. Good, thanks, how are you? They'll likely respond with good, and then you guys will both go on about your day. So that's it. There's no extra detail needed because there really isn't time for conversation. Now, if there is a little more time, so let's say you and this senior person are in an elevator together, or maybe you and this new colleague have joined a meeting a little bit early and you guys are the only people there. Just saying good, thanks, how are you can feel a little flat. So you want to give a little more of an interesting response. So when they ask, how are you? You do want to keep your response short, positive, but you can add a little more detail in this case, just to make it a little more interesting. I'm going to give you a really easy 3-step formula to use here. Step number 1, use a positive word plus thank you. Step number 2, give just one sentence about something that you're working on. And step number 3 is just to say, and you. And you. So you can just keep it as simple as that. There's no need to overcomplicate this. An example of this could be, doing well, thanks. I'm staying busy with Project ABC. And you? So let's break this down a little bit. We're starting with a positive word, which is doing well, followed by thank you. We're thanking them for asking us the question. That's just polite. You could also say something like, great, thanks, or I'm good, thank you. If things aren't going that well for you, maybe you're not having that great of a day, now is not the time to say it. Now is not the time for pure honesty. You just want to stay polite and stay positive. Also, too, you might notice some differences in language depending on the native speakers that you're working with or where in the world you're working. For example, here in the US, we tend to be a little more enthusiastic with the words that we use. You may hear people say, great, or I'm doing really well. Whereas when I worked in the UK in London and I worked, all of my colleagues were British and my boss was British, I heard them use words more like all right or not bad to essentially mean the same thing. So just something interesting to be aware of there. That we're giving one sentence about something that we're working on. Here, I'm staying busy with Project ABC. It shows that you're productive. It also makes the response a little more interesting. And it's important here to just stick to work topics. You want to avoid sharing any personal information in these situations. Just keep it professional. And then finally, we are posing the question back to the other person with and you. We're asking them how they are doing and saying that. The polite thing to do, we're showing interest in them and we're also keeping the conversation going. If they've already told you how they're doing, you can just ask them a different question. Here are some examples of some other ways you could respond. Things are going well, thanks. Project ABC is moving along nicely. And you? To move along nicely is a very common expression that we use in business. That means that things are progressing well, progressing and advancing as expected without any major issues. Something is moving along nicely. I'm great, thank you. We're looking forward to starting Project ABC next week. And you? Good, thank you. I've been spending most of my week on the launch of Project ABC. And you? Okay guys, before we move on to less formal situations, I want to do a little vocabulary quiz here. So we just learned a moment ago a very commonly used business expression to show that things that we're working on are making good progress. So fill in the blank here. Would we say Project ABC is making way nicely, Or B, would we say that project ABC is moving along nicely? Comment below A or B and I'll tell you if you're right. And a quick time out here, you guys. If you're finding this video helpful so far, please give me some feedback by hitting the like button. And if you have to write emails in English for your job, which I'm assuming most of you do, and that's why you're here with me on my channel today, I want to let you know that I have an ebook out. It's got more than 200 business email phrases, both for more formal emails and less formal emails, depending on the situation, to help you write emails in English that sound clear, confident, and professional. I put the link in the description. Go check it out. All right, guys, let's turn our attention now to how to respond to how are you in more less formal situations. Again, if there's no time to talk, you're passing somebody quickly, or it's just a casual greeting, you can keep it short and simple and just say, good, thanks, you. Good, thanks, you. So same idea, quick, polite, moving on. If you're in a less formal situation and you do have a little more time to talk, here you can relax a little bit. There's not so much pressure to show that you're working hard. And depending on how well you know the person, depending on the culture of your organization, you can also be a little more honest about how you're really doing. So here's one example. Pretty good. We finally signed client ABC. How about you? So here we're following that same formula. We're answering the question with something positive. We're giving one detail about something we're working on, and then we're posing the question back to them. We can break down this example a little further. Pretty good is a very casual, common way to tell somebody that you're doing well. Pretty good, I'm doing well. Doing well means the same thing. Here in this example, we have a line about something that we're working on. But sometimes it's okay to talk about things that don't have anything to do with work. It just really depends on the situation. It depends on your relationship with this colleague. It depends on the culture of your organization. Sticking to work topics, though, is always safe. And then we're ending with, how about you? To pose the question back to them and keep the conversation going. How about you is just a more informal, more casual way of asking, and you? How about you? How about you? Another thing you could say, busy, just wrapping up project ABC. Yourself? Busy is probably one of the most common responses that we give at work when people are asking us how we're doing, because usually we are pretty busy. To wrap up is a super commonly used phrasal verb in the business world. To wrap up means to finish. So if you're wrapping something up, that means you are finishing something, a project, an initiative. Yourself is another less formal way to pose the question back to the other person, to refer to the same question. Yourself, another example. I'm okay, just swamped this week with project ABC. You? Swamped means to be really busy. If you say I'm swamped, it means I have a ton of work to do. I am swamped. I'll give you some other phrases that native speakers use all the time when there's not anything new going on. There's nothing special happening, but nothing terrible happening either. You might hear us say things like, same old, same old. That just means the same old stuff is going on. The same old things are happening. There's nothing new. Same old, same old. Business as usual. Business as usual. Can't complain. Can't complain. We use these expressions all the time at work, but again, in some more relaxed, casual, less formal situations for sure. Now, if you want to be a little more open, maybe things aren't going so well for you, but you're managing. Here's some phrases you can use without sounding too negative. So you could say, for example, it's going, or you could use the word tough, which means difficult. So it's been a tough day, or it's been a tough week. It's been a tough week. Or a very commonly used expression, hanging in there, I'm hanging in there, or we're hanging in there. To hang in there means that you're clearly facing some challenges. Things are not going super well, but you're managing. You're still managing to push forward and push through the challenges. All right, you guys, that is it for today. I hope you found these phrases helpful. So now you know how to respond to how are you, but how do you keep the conversation going from there? Well, this video right here will help you do that. It has got some key expressions that you need to know and use in your small talk conversations at work to help you make small talk like a pro. So go check it out. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate all of you, and I'll see you in this video next.